I'm Greg Kovacs. I don't think I'm special or important, but I do know that I'm passionate about science and engineering. And that's one of the reasons that I'm talking to you today. I was raised by very kind and supportive parents who were engaged in medicine, and I always looked up to them and wanted to do good for people that way, but also couldn't help but tinker, build, create stuff. I like the physical hands-on work, and so I set off to try to balance those things. But as a kid, nobody really has a plan, and just sort of figured it out, driven by my own passions. So, balancing that desire to do hands-on engineering and to try to do good someday through medicine, I did electrical engineering undergraduate, and I completed pre-medical requirements. Went from my birthplace in Vancouver, Canada, down to the Bay Area in California. First went to Berkeley, got my master's there, then came to Stanford and did a doctorate in electrical engineering and completed medical school there. So during that time, I was thinking, what could I do? Right? What could I do? And I could spend my time like my father, seeing thousands of patients over a long career and help them directly, or could take a shot, at research and try and do something that might help a lot of people more than one could really see. Really difficult to decide. And I kept remembering my father's guidance, which was, if you ever want your kids to learn how to play violin, the last thing you should do is send them to violin lessons. What you really should do is leave violins lying around the house. So I was looking at what opportunities were in front of me and, going through all this long process of education, and really frankly thought I was going to be a surgeon, and ended up, becoming a professor of electrical engineering, and later with a secondary appointment in medicine doing research. So in that path, I really got interested in sensors and devices for medicine, and realized that this field of micro-machined devices, or MEMS, was pioneered by NASA 20 years before the current wave of people sort of pumping it up as a hot area had claimed. And when I dug in more and more and more, it turned out it was pioneered at NASA Ames, and it was pioneered for medical applications. And I had found something that really excited me. And then one day I met John Hines, and everything changed, because John was there from those days on and knew all about it, and his group had been doing these biomedical projects since the beginning. And he's the nicest guy in the world, and I just jumped right in, and the rest is history. So over the years, working with John, getting the chance to go all over the place doing expeditions and flying in reduced gravity flights and underwater and you name it, and then later getting involved with the Defense Department and actually being a office director at DARPA, I got exposed to a wide variety of things, and did my bit. And when John retired, the foundation came to the forefront, and I had the great honor of being invited to the board and to help John, and we get together and talk about how we can leave violins lying around for young folks, leave the STEM opportunities there for them, not making them, pushing them, but just exciting, and how to get that feeling of sheer joy into a kid that inspires. And I have to say, I still feel that sheer joy when I do technical work, or read an interesting paper, or hear about some clinical breakthrough, or talk to a colleague about something they figured out for a patient. So it's possible to keep that up for quite a few years. So with that background, I think we're at a great moment in time to expand the reach of the Hines Family Foundation. I'm hoping that some corporate sponsors will step up and help that, realizing that their future workforce can be at least partly made up of folks that we have got that passion into for science. We need more folks doing science and engineering, and I think we are well positioned. John remains a great inspiration to me. He's someone that I'm a good friend of, and I've been honored to work with for most of my career, but I still look up to, and frankly can giggle like a kid with still when we're thinking about these opportunities. My role in the foundation is to help John craft the tools and the materials with a large group of others. I mean, I'm just part of a big enterprise, but it's still a big honor to be part of it. And I thank everybody listening to this and in the foundation for the opportunity.